And you know what's the most wild thing about it all? People talk about all this racism. There's so much racism. You know who helps me the most? The black community, which is crazy. Because the way that things are in the world, the way that they tell you it's so racist out here, black people are more willing to help me than a white person will. For instance, last night, I had to get my car jumped because my battery dies when I turn it off. Due to running my car all the time, uh, now when I turn my car off for a long period of time, for some reason my car won't start. I have to take out my jumper cables, connect it to somebody's battery, and then my car will start. Uh, but last night, I ended up getting help from somebody, but it took me a while. Um, the person I closed with doesn't drive, so he walks. Therefore, he couldn't help me jump my car. So normally after work, uh, there's another guy who works with me who helps me jump my car every time, but he didn't work last night. So I had to go to it's actually a movie theater next door to where I work. Um, Luckily, there was a late showing because this was 1 in the morning to ask people to help me. Now, the first couple I walk up to was a white couple, bigger white gentleman, look kind of country-ish. So I'm thinking this guy works on vehicles. He'll for sure help me out. So I walk up and ask him. I say, "Hey, don't mean to bother you. I'm sorry. It's late. I work right over there next door." And I showed my shirt. And I said, "I just need help with somebody jumping my car. I have jumper cables. I just need another battery to connect to so that way I can get home." Obviously, he doesn't know I'm homeless, but I needed my car to start so I can get to where I normally stay. Not just that, to heat up. It was cold. But he said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, no problem, man. I got you. All you need is connect to my battery." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I got you." I was like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate that." So I'm walking along his car with his girlfriend to her door, just because that's just the path to my car and whatever. And I was telling her, I was like, "Man, I was waiting forever. I'm so thankful that you guys are able to help me. It's so frustrating dealing with this." She goes, "Oh, I completely understand. We'll be right over." So I walk to my car. I pick up my jumper cables. I turn around and this car is flying out of the parking lot. It was a Ford F-250 or something, so a big truck. Why are you flying out of the parking lot? Like, if you feel uncomfortable or you don't want to do it, just say no. It's okay. I understand. It's an inconvenience for you. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to do this, but I need to get somebody to start my car. So that kind of threw me. Like, I was like, man, like, why do that to somebody? Like, that's just crazy. So then I start thinking, was she nervous thinking, it's a dark parking lot that I'm trying to get you guys somewhere and then rob you? Or were you the one who just drove off? Either way, shame on you guys. You could have just said no. Instead, you got me all excited thinking I'm getting out of here and then you just drive off? That's crazy. So then I see another couple, but it's an older black gentleman with two older black women. I asked them, and he looked at me. He's like, "Man, I'll be honest with you. I don't like jumping cars with my car. My battery's not that strong." And I looked at him. I said, "That's okay, sir. Not a problem. Have a blessed night. Get home safe." That was it. Now, right behind him was this bigger black dude with his girlfriend. And they were walking by. He was kind of looking at me, but I didn't think about asking. I was kind of feeling down, like two people strike out back to back. Like, I'm just not even going to bother them. So I walked back to my car. But it was cold. So I'm like, shoot. So I just lean out of my car and I look. Two couples come out, two white couples. And I'm like, okay, perfect. I was like, I'm going to go ask them. They drove separate vehicles. They got two vehicles. Hopefully one of them will help me. So I walked up. I asked them, explain the situation. The one guy responded back. He said, "Look, man, I'm sorry. I can't help you, though. We got a babysitter at home. We got to get home to the kids." I respect it. Thank you anyways. You guys have a blessed night. Be safe. Be safe getting home. And I started walking back across the parking lot. And that big black dude with his girlfriend that walked by, He pulled up in his Chrysler 300 and he looked at me. He's like, bro, he's like, you need help with something? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, if you can, would you be able to help me jump my car? And he looked at me. He said, maybe. I got a question for you. And I was like, yeah, what's the question? Why did you not ask me when you saw me before? And now I know he's thinking that maybe it was because I was afraid because he was some big black guy. But no, my best friend, my brother, is a big black dude. So that's got nothing to do with it. And honestly, it was nothing racist. It had nothing to do with that. But I could see how he would think that. You know, I approached the black family. They said no. Then I don't say anything to him, but then I go to the white couples and I ask them. So I get how it looked, but that had nothing to do with it. It was just I was down on myself when I saw him, and I was like, whatever. So I just said that to him, and he's like, all right, man, I got you. And I was like, man, thank you so much. He's like, no problem, man. He's like, I know what it is. He's like, I've been places before and I've needed to jump or had a flat tire, needed help, so I get it. We got to help each other out. That's who I am. And I said, thank you, because that's who I am. And that's the cool thing about it, because I am who I am and I'm nice and I will give my last dollar to anybody. It's kind of gotten me into the situation I'm in, but it's who I am. And that guy was the same way. So we sat there talking for a little bit as my car was charging. And he said, so y'all going to tell everybody? He said, Big Crip helped you. And I was like, I'll tell everybody Big Crip helped me. And he said that because he was a gang member, Crip gang. And it was funny. And he was like, hey, you can tell them I even helped you out, even with that BS red you got on. Because the job I worked for, they had a red logo on it. So it was kind of funny, just because he said that, because Crips blue, Blood's red, they fight, they hate each other, whatever the case may be. So it was a funny little comment. We started laughing. Then I got into my, history a little bit. I was like, bro, if you only knew, about 20 years ago, I was like, I was involved in all that. I wasn't a member, but I was going through the hood. I had my black card, so to speak, hood card. I could go anywhere I wanted to because I had respect, because of who I am. And so that was just a funny conversation that we just had. And, so shout out to you, Big Crip. Man, I appreciate you. Good man. And I appreciate you taking the time to just help me. And it was a pleasure getting to know you. Hopefully you get to see this. Not everybody knows who Big Crip is, but I do, and you do. So I'm okay with that. I appreciate your help late at night. You didn't have to do that, but you took the time to help me. Now, the place I park is a place I've been, and sleep is a place I've been going every day because they allow it. The people won't help me. I sit with my car for hours on end. Like, I'll go ask a couple people. They say, no, whatever. I got somewhere to be. Some people treat me like I don't exist. But so what I do is I leave my hood up, connect my jumper cables, set my jumper cables off to the side. You can see me. So I'm hoping that somebody has the heart to come and help me. And what's been cool is there are 3 people who have been helping me out. One is an older white gentleman, and he is an interesting guy, to say the least. Very judgmental, but he tells you how it is, and I appreciate that. We believe in the same type of things. You got to work hard to get to what you want. Life isn't always fair, he gives me the motivation I need. He's kind of that person who, he doesn't know me, but he gives me that tough love that I need. And I appreciate that guy. And every day before he leaves, he will, if my car is there or not, he will drive by and see if I need my car jumped or not. Every single time. It doesn't matter. And he's like, what's up, my buddy? He's like, I like you. He's like, but you got to get your shit together. I'm like, I agree, and I'm trying. So, that guy, it's a cool guy because that guy looks out for me. He doesn't need to. He doesn't know me from Adam, but this dude shows love. Then recently there's been this younger white girl, which is very interesting to me because women stay clear of this type of stuff, which I completely understand, and I respect that. But she yelled across the parking lot, "You need help?" I said, "I need a jump if you can." She said, "Yeah, I got you." So she came and jumped my car. She's helped me multiple times now. She sees my car with my hood up, she pulls right up, and she helps me before she does what she needs to do, and it's pretty cool that she's willing to help out. And just yesterday, I had a guy come back for the second time. We talked for a little bit. He helped me out. It was awesome. So I've got a couple people that are willing to jump that don't even know me to help jump my car. But to be honest with you, I'll get looked at, driven by 20, 30 people before I can get help. And it's sad because some people will drive right by you, staring at you the whole time. And you're like, oh, you're going to help? You put your hands up to point to, hey, you're going to help me? And they just keep driving. Or they look away, or they speed down somewhere else, like cut off a different way so they can avoid you, which is all fine and dandy. But I don't know, man. I thought I came from a world where we help each other, and we don't. We live in a society that is very selfish, especially the white community. And what I've noticed, the black community, and we talk about certain situations, but more black people have struggled and know what it's like to struggle than white people do. Which is why the black community is more willing to help out than the white community. There's more love and togetherness in the black community. I know we like to bring up statistics, black on black crime, blah, 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 all this BS. But if you go into a black community, the reason why there is all this stuff is because they are so loyal to each other. White people aren't like that. We are selfish. We are all about ourselves. And it's crazy. And it's because majority of you have never struggled. You don't know what it's like to struggle. You don't know what it's like to not have something because you have everything. You've had everything. So until you've been in that situation where it's all taken from you and you don't ever have to deal with as white people, we don't think about this. But we don't help each other out unless it's some cause that, some crazy thing that pulls our heartstrings. But the black community will go above and beyond out of their way to help you. And I love that. I wish everybody was like that. Unfortunately, it's not the world. But I appreciate the love that I have gotten and the support that I have gotten. So what do we do, when you do things? To shower, I told you, there's a couple places. You can go to Planet Fitness if you have a membership, $10 membership, and you can shower there. You can go to a truck stop, something like that. You can shower there. How do you get food? Food. There's not many places that will help people who are hungry. And that's just a fact. Businesses are about money. They're about profit. They're about inventory. They don't care about a homeless person. They tell you to get a job, but won't hire you. What's the first thing on a job application they ask for besides your name, social, birth date, all that? An address. But what if you don't have one? You got to make one up. Because if you tell anybody you're homeless, they're not going to hire you. They're going to think you're worthless. There's a reason you're homeless. So you've got to put this front on. But when you get desperate, you ask for help. And people aren't willing to give it. And that's sad. But there are a few things I can give you a tip. Obviously, you can go to some place like a food pantry. There's plenty of those. But it's hard for me with the food pantry because a lot of that stuff you got to cook. Like my buddy gave me a can of vegetable soup, and I was grateful for it. But eating cold vegetable soup out of a can is disgusting. It's not good. But I ate it because you got to eat. You got to eat something. I mean, we need it to survive, just like I need water, so I get that. But there are certain things, if you look online, you can find something. Like Thursday night, there was a church in the city I'm by that you can go to. Every second Thursday of the month, they do a free dinner from 4 to 6. So this Thursday, I got to go. I went in. They had lasagna, eggplant parmesan, which I didn't eat because I don't like it. the lasagna was fantastic. Now, I don't know if it was because I hadn't eaten in a couple days or what, but it was the best lasagna I ever had. And it was made in bulk on trays. I don't know, if people who work or go to church there made this, or if they got it from a restaurant and had it catered. I don't know, but it was the best lasagna. And then they had this bow tie, like chicken Alfredo thing they called it, but I would call it more of a sour cream sauce than a Alfredo sauce. But it was good too. And then they had desserts out the wazoo. Man, I was loading up. I had this like pudding pie thing. I had a cherry pie. I had a pumpkin muffin, which was fantastic. I don't know what this little cinnamon swirl thing was that they put on top of it, but it was so good. And then I had just like a regular blueberry muffin. Then they had little plastic containers filled with like donuts or cookies or whatever you wanted that you could take with you. So I got to eat something. They made a delicious lemonade, so I got to drink some lemonade with my dinner. And they didn't bother me. The pastor talked to me, just made sure I was okay, asked me if I needed anything, but he didn't try to get me to join the church. I already have a church. I love my church, and I will never switch from it. But it was nice that they had that opportunity for me. I got to talk to some good people. So, all in all, it ended up turning out to be a great experience. And I was very thankful for it because I was so hungry, but it was fantastic. And I'm glad that there are places like that. So you got to kind of look around. There's a church. I didn't go to it this morning, but I could have. But I go to my church, so I got a little half donut and some coffee. So I was thankful for that. But there's another church in the area that I'm in that serve breakfast before their service. So there are options where you can find stuff like that. So there's ways to get by. It's just not every day that you're going to find this. So that's the hard part about it. But for me, every year during Thanksgiving, my boys and I donate meals to the homeless. And this year I've already signed up, got my spot in place for it. And I'm excited because I've been on this side now. So I understand what that meal means, so that's been a great thing. So, there's, like I said, there's certain places you can go to get water. There's certain places you can go to shower. Washing your clothes is the hard part. You can go to a laundromat, but you're going to spend over $20 to the laundromat. If you don't have any money, how do you do it? It's hard. But luckily I have a friend who lets me wash clothes at their house, take showers there. So, I'm blessed in that aspect. But as a community, we need to stop looking at homeless people as like disgusting and, drug addicts and all this stuff, because the truth is I can take a drug test right now. I'm not going to pass, or I'm not going to fail. I don't do drugs. I love life. I was a drug addict years ago, but I've been sober for, 26, end of 2016, I got sober. So what, 9 years now? I'm not going back. I shattered my hand completely, was given drugs, and I didn't take them because I'm not going down that route anymore. That's not who I am. So we got to quit treating homeless people as if, one, they're not people, two, that they're just these horrible, disgusting, dirty people, because we're not. Some of us are just in a situation that we're in, and we're trying. Like I said before, there's anywhere from 3 to 10 cars with trucks in this area that I'm staying in my situation. And it's the same cars every night. So I'm not the only one. And I know there's other people in my situation struggling. And there are going to be other people in my situation. Some of you watching this may think your life is great and it'll never happen to you. And then all of a sudden, so you get a divorce or you break up with your significant other. Now you're single and you got to handle things on your own. You lose your job. And now, you're falling apart. And then, worst of all, you don't have family. You don't have support. You don't have somebody to help you. I have my aunt and uncle who would probably be happy to help me, but they live in Florida. Can't do anything for me here. So it'd be nice to to be able to say, hey, mom, hey, dad, can I stay with you for the night or for this time so I get myself back on my feet? So those of you who have that opportunity, be grateful, be thankful that you have that. And those of you who don't, it is what it is, and we got to find a way to make it. So, with that being said, I appreciate all of you listening to this, not chapter or segment, this episode of my not podcast, whatever. I'm just, ugh. Well, regardless, be thankful for today. Say your prayers. Tell your loved ones you love them. And appreciate what you have. Because you never know when your life's going to change, when it's all going to be gone. Some of you may never experience that, and that's awesome. I hope you don't. I hope nobody ever has to experience this. But for me, this is my journey. This is the path that God has me on. And I'm okay with that. I'm ready to take on whatever God brings my way. I will be thankful and grateful for what I do get and what I do have, which is nothing. I don't have much. The clothes on my back, the bag of clothes I got here, and my puppy dog. Right, Zozo? Right, pop. Right, Zozo, girl? Come here. Get here, the babies. Come here, baby. Here. Come here, babies. Got it, the babies. You guys see the Zozo girl? The Dodo girl? The Zozo girl? Say hi, babies. Say hi, babies. Come here. Say hi. They're the Dodo girls. But that's my baby. I love her. So we're about to take her on a walk. Going to let her out, get her a little exercise, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I love y'all. Stay strong. Keep your head up if you're down. Life will get better. Have a good day. Peace.